Who says men can't multitask? Tent up, meal cooked within 8-9 minutes. Happy days. We've got a chicken curry with brown rice tonight, so I think that's like. Decent, very nice. Right, I'm gonna eat this and then get on with the firewood collecting. Well, I've just got some new pegs. You've probably seen this style, loads of different makes do them, but they're actually like a splayed kind of thing. It's supposed to, or it does, it stops see normal round ones or hexagonal ones because they're single shaft, they just bend so easy. This thing, I don't even forget what make it is, right? From there down, amazing, brilliant, really does what it's supposed to. From there up, lethal. You try pushing your hand in with that, it just starts digging in. So I ended up hammering it with the butt of my knife and slipped, missed it. I'm not exactly going to die from it, but it's just a nasty enough little cut. So yeah, maybe whoever makes them, I forget what it is, should do something with that end because it's ridiculously dangerous. Bit of first aid and then wood collection now. Got the fire going. Lovely. You would have noticed I did cheat a bit. I used paraffin blocks for fire lighters. It's like I said before in the previous one of my videos, you know, yeah, there's of course there's all that bushcrafty stuff, you know, and it's nice to do. It's definitely nice to know. It's a good thing to know. But when I'm coming out camping, just quick, easy, whatever works, and roaring fire there in 5-10 minutes, like, you know. So happy days. It suits the purpose. So yeah, it's I got here at 4. It's now 20 to 6, so 1 hour and 40 minutes. Tent up, fed, firewood collected, fire going, and now cheers. By the way, I should tell you, sorry, smoke in my eye. Idiot, earlier, the North Tame River, what we passed earlier, then that was my last water source I was going past today. And so I was supposed to fill up my my camel pack. I got so excited about that clapper bridge, I completely forgot. So when I got here, I had literally just enough water to cook my boil in a bag, which yeah, so was quite lucky. But don't worry, we've got 2 cans of Thatchers, so I'm sure we won't dehydrate tonight. Right, I'll come back to you in a bit, because I've actually got a little bit of a story about Fernworthy as well, so chill out for a minute and I'll get back to you. All right, cheers. So not so much a story, like a legend, but a bit of history and a little bit of a legend in with it. This I pulled off the internet. It was written by E. Hemery, 1990, High Dartmoor, Hale, London. Clearly, the vengeance of the earth gnomes did not stop at stealing the baby, as it could be said the whole area was cursed. For a long time, the Torquay Corporation had a water intake on the River Tame. In 1928, a lease was signed with the duchy, which enabled the corporation to construct a weir and pipeline which would carry water to the Frenchford and Hennock reservoirs. In 1934, an Act of Parliament empowered the corporation to build a new reservoir at Fernworthy, and eventually started this in 1936. On the 4th of August 1938, a violent storm lashed across the eastern Dartmoor, and so fierce was its floodwaters that it washed a crane from the valley side into the river. After it had passed, over 2 million gallons of water and 500 cubic yards of silt had to be cleared from the worksite. However, despite this, the dam was completed on the 22nd of June 1942. The reservoir covers 76 acres and holds about 380 million gallons of water. It is 63 foot deep, 1,400 yards long, and 1,125 yards wide. So there you go, a little bit of history. There was also apparently an old farm that was flooded when they built the reservoir. It was actually called Fernworthy Farm. Sorry, it's smoke in the eyes there. So yeah, there you go. Tomorrow, one of the places, I think second or third we're going, is Grey Weathers, Stone Circle. And that we've got a good little tale. Really cool little tale. 2 tales actually about Grey Weathers. There's a lot of history surrounding that. Right, I'm gonna chill. Could you not just stare at that for hours and hours and hours? And it's say don't need phones, don't even need a book, don't need nothing. Literally sit out here with a fire by yourself. And I would think if you want, or sometimes I find myself just, my own little world just wandered off. Not a care out here. Don't have to think about anything to do with that awful thing that we call life. So this is life. This is proper. I absolutely love it. It's only it's about 6:30 now, but I don't think it'll be much longer to bed. I think we'll be in bed by about 7:30, to be honest. 7:45, and I'm in the tent, in the sleeping bag, and looking forward to a good night's kip. Right, couple minutes past 7. I don't know if you can hear the wind there in the background, but all night. I slept pretty well, but that wind and that rain was savage, like real savage. Got enough water, literally just enough to do a little porridge in the pot. So I think we'll have that in the tent. The ground sheet's absolutely soaked through. Luckily you got the air mattress, so I didn't get wet at all. And yeah, I think we can have a look at the map while we're in the tent, in the sleeping bag, breakfast in bed, happy days. I think we might chop a bit off of the route today. So we're supposed to be going up this plateau where there's a few riverheads. The amount of rain there was last night, and it has been over a few weeks, it's just going to be miserable, boggy walking. So yeah, I think we'll adjust the route a little bit and then get packed up. Daylight's just starting to break, so by the time I've had breakfast, should be light. So pack up and get going. Right, I'll let you know what I decide. Just with a water situation, I was having these co-op syrup porridge pots. I'll tell you what, they're really, really nice actually. Pretty impressed with that, and had enough for about 2 mouthfuls of coffee as well. So some coffee's better than no coffee, eh? I had a look at the map as well. Still half in the sleeping bag here, so not looking forward to getting out of there, but got to be done. What we're going to do in the map, say we were planning about 17 kilometres and 16 tyres, I think. So we've dropped that down to about 13 kilometres and 10 tyres. So we've only lost a few K and 6 tyres or something. But it's avoiding all those areas that are more than likely going to be just soaking, just bog and miserable, and it's not much fun. And at the end of the day, although it's going to be hard work on the moors, you are out here for fun, so no point torturing yourself. Right, I'm going to finish my coffee and so we get packed up and get going. Just gone 8 o'clock by a few minutes, and we are off. Dunstone Rock, first port call. And you see behind me, this was a path last night that I walked up to the campsite. It's now more like a bloody leat. But yeah, we could go through those woods as a more direct route to Dunstone Rock. But I know for a fact that those woods at points, they just get so dense, it's not worth the hassle for a little bit more walking around on paths. So much easier, especially after some of the little stints we had yesterday. We wouldn't mind a bit of an easier day. I think today is mostly path, to be fair, especially with the new bit where we've cut sections off. All right, so off we go. I'll tell you what, it's a lot warmer today as well. Weather forecast is saying it's supposed to be 5-7 degrees. Say it feels warmer than that. That wind, I don't know if you can hear it, but that's still blowing a hoolie. But obviously we're sheltered at the moment by the woods for the next few kilometres. But I reckon, I've got a funny feeling that when we get out onto the open moorland over towards Grey Weathers and Sitterford, it's going to be a different story. We're probably going to take a bit of a battering again like yesterday then, but hey ho. Probably bonus, at the end of today's walk, just coincidentally by the way, not planned, there's a pub at Postbridge, so there you go, bit of incentive to get this done and get to the pub, eh? So this isn't one of the points I planned, but we come across it and it is marked on the map. Pretty cool stone circle, it shoots off way down the hill there. And at this end you've got a little circle. You see that bit in the middle? That is a Kistven. I think it's Kistvaen, but I'll check that and put the correct spelling. Yeah, I'll put the correct spelling underneath if I have misspelled that. But basically it's a stone tomb, and I think, if memory serves me correctly, kist means stone or box, and then means the other one. So translated, I think it's Welsh derivative. Yeah, a little bonus, eh? Right, off we go again. Okay, so been following, you see the junction here behind me? So been following these paths through the woods. Said it before on a different walk, they're an absolute maze of literally, to get to a point that as a crow flies is probably, I don't know, 400 metres, I've walked probably 1.5 km just east, west, east, west, east, west, zigzagging. If that's a junction, I think it is, which I'm hoping it is. It should be about 300 metres up here. We should cross Vitterford's Mine Leat. Where that crosses the track is where the Dunnerstone is. So that'll be good. So I'm getting a bit thirsty. Like I said, I ran out of water, so I need to get that filled up as well. Right, I'm pretty sure that that's the leat and what's left of it. No water in the leat, which means nothing to drink. Also, I couldn't see the stone. I just spied it. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. That is the Dunnerstone. So we have found it, which is a result. But when you go back down here, there's a brook a couple hundred metres down, so we're going to get some water down there. Here is Assycoombe Brook, and you can see I don't really like the colour of that, to be honest, so we're not going to fill up here, even though we've got filters and that. That looks really, really skank. So, okay, it's only about 800-900 metres down this path, then we get to the reservoir where there's loads of different brooks all converging, go into the reservoir. There's got to be a clean one there, isn't there, surely? Right, let's get down there, thirsty. Right, this is the end of Assycoombe Brook. Literally, the reservoir is just over there, and it's still pretty minging. You see the froth there as well. I've always been told that's not a good idea. I don't know the science behind it, but apparently it's not a good sign for drinking water. So we're going to head up. There's another brook just up by Sandyman Bridge. We'll take a look at that one. I think it's pretty ironic, isn't it? Here I am on the edge of a huge reservoir whose sole purpose is to provide drinking water to masses of people, and just me, just want 2 litres and I can't find anything bloody usable. Now, if that ain't irony, I don't know what is. This is the other brook. Just look at the state of that, the colour of that water. It could be fine to drink when it's filtered, but that's a bit much for me. A slight tinge I don't mind, but that looks pretty mank. It looks like we're going thirsty for a bit. Kind of reminds me, have you heard that old saying? I think it's a sailor's thing. Water everywhere and not a drop to drink. I'm not concerned about it, to be honest. Like I say, if I was that bothered, the reservoir is down there. I would drink out, I'd boil it and filter it if I was desperate. North Tean is not too far up over there if I wanted to take a bit of diversion, but like I say, I'm not that worried. A few more brooks later on, so hopefully they're a bit cleaner than these, eh? Yes, we have pretty clean water. Best we're gonna get anyway. Look at that, that's not too bad. So we got the Sawyer Mini, which is a bit of a mistake. We should have bought the full size one. This thing is a pain to fill up and don't hold a lot. I'll tell you what, just have some of that water filter collected from the brook. That's bloody tasty. It's a lot better than stuff at the tap. But anyway, we're looking for Hemstone rocks. Apparently they're off to a clearing, which I'm hoping I can see now. So we find those, then we're out onto the moors, out to great weathers. Right, so we find Hemstone. Okay then, by the curves in the track, there and there, and by pacing, Hemstone rocks are just up in there, probably 70-80 metres. Now, on the map, it shows a clearing that they're in. Now, this is another problem with woodland, or forestry anyway, is you can see that this area has been cut before. These are fairly new. So obviously when the map was drawn, this was a clearing. Now, it's not a clearing, but yeah, Hemstone's up in there. I'm not traipsing up through that. So on to Sitterford. Pretty miserable. We've got about 500 metres left in these woods, and then we are out onto the open. But you see, this is a track, a
apparently. This is an actual river flowing down. Right, let's get up to the end of the woods. We might actually stop and have something to eat at the end of the woods while we're in kind of dry before we go out into the open waters. Oh, this is a spooky bit of the forest, especially with this mist kicking around. It's, yeah, this is this track. It's a clear track on the map, obviously not so in real life. Yeah, a little bit creepy, eh? You can see the light at the end of the tunnel though, so hopefully we won't get caught by any ghosts or anything before we get there.
As we predicted earlier, we were a bit sheltered in the woods. This now, and literally you can see that's the wall, open wall on the other side. It's savage out there again, like it was yesterday. That wind is awful. So, just getting some water on the boil. We've got something to eat, freeze-dried thing. Never tried one of these before, always been a boil in the bag man, but it's beef stew with potatoes. So let's get something hot to eat before we get out into that. Happy days, eh? Something to look forward to. Just lay it up again as well. I know it's going to be bloody cold in that wind out there. Right, come on water, boil, boil, boil. Not impressed, not at all. Got to pour water in it, leave it for 8 minutes, stir it for 8 minutes, the packet says. I kind of close it up. It's now freezing cold. The meat's not hydrated properly, so it's a bit crunchy. The flavour, to be fair, is actually pretty nice, but nah, army boiling the bags way ahead. That's just hassle and a pain and not that great. Boil in the bag, 5 minutes, and it's piping hot. Eat it straight away. That's it, job done. So yeah, boil in the bags. That may be a little bit lighter, but not worth it. Not worth it.
Okay, there is Grey Weathers. Up on top there, that's Sitterford Tor and North Sitterford Rocks. So we're going to go up to those two and then come down to Grey Weathers. Then we're going to go down the valley, down there. Postbridge is down towards those trees, right in the bottom. Right, this is savage again, this wind, so let's get cracking. Proper wrapped up. Streaming ice, absolutely horrendous this wind, awful. Right, push on. Just look at that. Even in this and this wind and that, it's just so beautiful. There's it's Grey Weathers. That's Fernworthy forest behind, so you can see huge. I'll put some numbers up below and tell you exactly the size of it, but it's a good few kilometres long. Just look. Nothingness, and it is beautiful. There's a group of hikers over there, probably 10 tours or something, I should imagine. That's we come from way over there yesterday. Okay, so Sitterford Tor here. We nip up there and then we go in just out the back of it. You've got Sitterford North Rocks. 2 more tires. Right, let's get up there. Hey, it's Sitterford North Rocks. Honestly, no exaggeration, this is like 1 pace forwards you take, and then the wind takes you 1 pace sideways at least. Oh, this is savage, but fun. Right, we're nearly back at Sitterford Tor. Get down into the valley.
So here we have the Grey Weathers stone circles. 2 of them, as you can see. Pretty cool, eh? Right, so yeah, 2 stories about grey weathers. You notice all the stones are stood up pretty much now. That was back, I think it was in the early 1900s. They actually done some restoration work and stood up the fallen stones. I think 1 or 2 of them are still fallen. But yeah, one of the legends is that the women from Chagford were a little bit, how would you say it, child friendly, promiscuous. A little bit promiscuous they were. And then every now and again, when everyone got fed up with this, they used to do this ritual. So they'd send the women down to the river to wash themselves. Then they'd have to walk all the way up here to Grey Weathers and kneel in front of a stone. If they were okay, and then confess to all of their antics, shall we say. And if it wasn't too bad, then they'd be okay and they could just go home, get on with it. If what they'd done was a little bit too much, then the stone would fall over, crush them, and that would be it. So as to what was too much and what was not, it's not clearly recorded in history, so leave that up to your imagination, shall I? Right, and the other story, this one's a real long one, so I'll cut it short, but basically the rocks at Grey Weathers are supposed to be sheep that have been turned to stone, but there was a legend that at a certain time of the year, I think it might be Midsummer's Night, they turned back into sheep with golden fleeces. And you had to go and get these magic shears that were in a kits then, a grave up on the moor, take them over to the river, I think it was the West Oakman. There's a toll stone there. You just have to wash it, do this little ritual, and then go back, catch one of the sheep, shear it, and then you could keep the golden fleece. But Matey Boy mucked up the ritual, and it was very clear in the ritual exactly what you had to do. And so then the sun also come up, which it wasn't supposed to happen, and basically the one of the sheep or several of the sheep turned into a big monster sheep and trampled him to death. And apparently the moral of the story is greed, not being greedy, or wash your shears properly in the river. That's what I'd say anyway. Right, I'll cut it now because there is a little rhyme about that washing of the shears as well. So I'll do that when I get home. I'll throw that in. So yeah, that little rhyme. At midnight by the Tolman upon the River Tame, the shears within its waters shall carve thy wheel or bane. Strike on thy left, then on thy right, red blood the flood shall stain. Beware lest trembling fingers will draw the blade again, but hold it firmly neath the stream till trees of hair appears, which seize and keep to bind the sheep, then use the magic shears. And that is a book by Eva C. Roberts, Dartmoor Legends. Really, really, really good book. Well worth reading. So many legends in there, and really, really well written. Really cool. Right, onwards. We're on the home straight now, down towards Postbridge. Probably, I don't know, 5 kilometres to go, something like that. And then we've got a nice pint at the end of it. So happy days. See you in a bit. Okay, you can see number 46, that is White Rock Tour. That's the one that we're after now. But see, it's right next to these settlements. Well, here are the settlements, and I can't see it all anywhere. So afraid we're gonna have to leave that one. A few more settlements here and there, but there's no bloody tour here. Okay, so directly in front of me, that is Stannon Tour. White Ridge Tour, which we wanted but couldn't find, is over yonder somewhere. So what I've decided, instead of cutting over the Stannon Tour, is I'll come back, so I've got to come back for White Ridge, and I'll come up from Postbridge, I'll go up to Stannon Tour, then I can take a bearing and a pacing to the exact grid reference of White Rocks. So we'd do that another day. That way, if I pace it on a bearing and I still don't find it, then there's nothing there, is there?
Right, anyway, we're following this path down now, down to Postbridge. Right, let's get on because that wind is still pretty savage. So this, boys and girls, is what they call a path, apparently. This is literally what most of it has been like. It's just hopping from left to right. You can't really go down the side of it too much because it's just horrendous. You can see the state of the ground there. You can't walk through that. So yeah, a lot of hopping, trying to find dryish bits. It's looking like we might be having a little dry section down there. So happy days. Okay, Heartland tour. This is going to be our last tars of the day, last tars of the weekend, and you can just make out there, that is Postbridge. So up to Heartland tour, see the top. Whoa, savage again. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's miles in the distance. That's it for the tour where we've been. We're literally going to skirt down there towards the river now. Walk no more than a couple of kilometres, hopefully a bit less, to Postbridge. Right, get the hell out of there. So, what a difference it is down here in the valley. It's still a bit breezy, but nothing compared to out there. There's the East Dart. See, this is quite a narrow part of it, literally just up there. It's 3 times as wide as that and pretty fast flowing, to be fair. Obviously the time of year, what do the Scottish call it? I think the river's in spate, I believe the terminology that they use. Right, I can literally almost smell that pint now, so yeah, I'll probably catch you again at the pub. Cheers. Right, well, that is a disappointing end to an absolutely otherwise amazing weekend. I get to the pub's shut. No opening times on the door. I don't even know if it's permanently shut or not. Absolutely soaking wet trousers. It started a real heavy rain the last 10 minutes, but I didn't bother putting the waterproofs on. I thought I'd be in the pub in 10 minutes. Luckily I had spare trousers, and there is a visitor centre up the road in Postbridge. Really cool in there actually. But anyway, my lift that I'd organised, I said, don't rush, I'll just chill in the pub. It's absolutely fine, just get there when you want. Obviously that didn't happen. Then my battery's dead on my other phone. This one's literally just taking videos, no credit or calls or anything on it. And so that wasn't ideal. Luckily enough, very nice lady in the visitor centre, and she let me use their phone, so I phoned my lift. It should be here in half an hour-ish. Just enough water left from that brook what we collected to get a brew on. Literally set. I'll show you. It's an open little space. A lady from the visitor centre said that I could sit in here and chill out. It's mostly out of the wind and it's out of the rain at least. Get a brew on, wait for the lift. So yeah, otherwise amazing weekend. Really disappointing end to it. Sat here like some kind of hobo now, brewing up. Too, I've newfound respect for homeless people. It's not warm out in these conditions. Right, anyway, hope you like that. As always, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and see you next time. All right, cheers.